All aboard and welcome to our podcast, GoddeSShips. Tonight's topic is Tabooships. Nothing's too taboo for you, boo. For those of you who are returning, thank you for your continued support and welcome back. And for those of you who are just joining us, welcome. Goddesses and gods, remember that we are also available wherever you listen to your podcast, including Spotify and iHeartRadio. And you can always watch us here on YouTube. I am Keely, the Soul Snatching Goddess.
And I am Melinda, the FACKTgoddess, F.A.C.K.T. We want to thank you for joining our show tonight. We want you to like, share, and subscribe to our podcast and bang the notification bell so you'll be the first to be notified when we have new episodes.
Hello, world. I'm FloydGod.
All right, time for some shirt cam. Am I the only one that got it? You got some?
I got some, but you can't really read it because it's in cursive.
Well, we gonna big you up, boo. It's a lot of ninjas don't know how to write in cursive neither. So we ain't gonna say nothing about that. All right.
It says you can't do epic shit with basic people.
Oh, yes. Bunch of basic bitch. I like that shirt. That's cute. All right. Well,
Girl, I got this from Travel Divas. Remember? That was our first trip to Vegas.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. We need to go back there. I miss
Absolutely.
Oh, I miss Vegas. Talk about it like it's a person. Jesus. Anywho. So for mine, so this shirt is special for me. It's We Walk for Her. This is my sister. We'll be doing the Lupus Walk on this coming Saturday. I know lupus affects a lot of people. If you want to join our team or contribute and donate to lupus research, I will have a link in the bottom to our team's website so that you can donate. Just click on my name and the word donate, and you can do it. Anything is appreciated. I don't care if it's $1. We want all the research we can because it's one of the lesser researched diseases that's going on, and it affects so many people. All right. So let me take myself back down. All right, Floyd got that floral on for y'all tonight, baby.
That island.
Yeah, he trying to get away.
Chicago people know what it is. Thanks, family. We'll leave it at that. Thank you, family.
Angela said, "Hey, Hawaii."
Okay.
Yes, Hawaii. Oh, well, tonight we're talking about taboo conversations that a lot of relationships don't want to have, but they should. If you're in a relationship, you might want to get into it. Some of these we have slightly broached a little bit in other areas on our previous podcast, and you can always go back and watch those, but we're going to delve into these 9 tonight, and I got a bonus one. So, number 1 is money. Money can be a tough subject to discuss. In research that was conducted by a company called Twine, only 4 out of 10 couples talk about their financial goals.
Wow.
Which is a recipe for disaster.
Mm-hmm.
Discussions about finances should be deliberate, detailed to ensure that both parties are on the same page. Specifics such as budgeting, spending habits, saving, investments should all be considered. What do y'all feel about that?
Agreed. I know for a while I did my own little personal, I guess you could say, study on couples that were either long-term or married, and just asked them what did they feel like was the make or break situations for their relationship.
Mhm.
And most I over time then created my own two important things based on what I heard and saw from them, which was communication and finances. So I think that is very important because that definitely can make or break a relationship. And if you don't have a clear understanding of where you stand with how you want to use your money, spend your money, save your money, like you said, that opens up a big area for disaster.
Yeah. Uh, your mama said she like your shirt.
Hey, Mom.
Hey, mama. Good to have you here. Well, I know part for me, with my husband is, well, was their family dynamic and talking about money was very different than mine and my family's. And so we had to have a meeting of the minds of what was going to happen in our household because it was a little rough. It was a little rough. And especially when one side is very aware of budgeting and trying to invest and saving, and then the other side is I've never budgeted. We don't really talk about how money exchanges. You don't have financial literacy. It can be a doozy of a talk, but it must be had. You got any thoughts on that, Floyd?
Yeah, I just think that I guess when FACKTgoddess talk about communication and finances, I think those things do go hand in hand. But I think it's about where you stand going into the relationship. That's why it's important to communicate. I'm sorry. In terms, it's important for you to communicate. Um, Most of the time, when people enter relationships, they're at different financial levels depending on who you've met or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's important that there needs to be a conversation if you two are trying to ultimately come together and join as one. But if you're just dating, everybody kind of got their own, you're maintaining your own thing, then I think that's fine. I think once you start becoming, as you start to become serious, I think those are things that need to stay in the forefront just simply for the purpose of what you're trying to build moving forward. So if you're two people that are single, y'all come together, y'all trying to build something for later on, you realize it's serious, then yeah, you start talking about finance in terms of you want to buy a home, investing in your future, retirement, those type of things. But I think it's important going in that everyone is to a certain extent have their own independence financially.
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily not that can be a different look for different people depending on what you're looking for because you might be trying to be equally yoked in certain aspects. So but yeah, it's important, but I think like you said, the communication is important with the finance because you need to know what you're getting into. Can this person withstand, it's part of the list, so
Yeah.
I'll leave it at that for now.
I was watching a movie. It was so funny because they got married really quickly and they had not had any real kind of talks at all.
Mm-hmm.
And so she started talking about how, I guess, kind of what she did, what he thought was her job, and how
Mm-hmm.
much she was actually making was nowhere near that. And she was like, well, I got to get out of all this debt. And he was like, debt? She was like, yeah, from my coke habit. He said, your coke habit. He was like, wait a minute. We ain't talking about none of this.
I don't know if it was Black, if it was Essence magazine. This was maybe like 10 years ago. There was a article where it was about a young lady and she was making like $100,000 a year. And the guy that she was dating that she ultimately married was only making 35,000 a year. And
Mm,
so in the article, they're interviewing her and they're asking her like, well, do you have a problem with the fact that he doesn't make as much as you? And it's like this, that, and the other, which is going to lead me to my next point. And she was like, no. She said, we have communication in terms of what he does and what I do. They have their roles. And so they communicated what their roles were. And so the finances weren't an issue because in her mind, it was he can help her do things, she can help him do things. So that leads me to my next point. Yes, finances are an issue. But I also think it depends on where you're at. Because I've seen for my own self, I've seen some brothers that was on the floor that didn't have nothing and was with somebody that had something and they lifted them up, and vice versa. Sisters was on the floor and the brother didn't have nothing. So again, the communication, where you stand, who you are, it's a lot of different levels to that. You know what I mean? So
Very much so.
I leave it at that.
Angela Worthy said, definitely agree with FloydGod and FACKTgoddess. It's ongoing communication, goal setting, joint financial education, and transparency.
Definitely transparency. That's the big part of the communication. If I hadn't learned nothing else from some of my relatives that are successful relationship, transparency is very important, especially when it comes to, you know, your feelings, finances, and all of that. So I learned a lot from them with that.
All right. Number 2, career goals. You and your partner's careers, aspirations, and goals should be discussed openly. It's common for households to have dual career couples. Because of this, managing the relationship while pursuing your career and personal goals has become more crucial. Personal goals and aspirations can breed confusion. It is good to find the sweet spot where both can pursue some of their career and personal goals and still take care of the needs of their partner.
Ladies, go first. I mean, I just let y'all go first. Go for it, ladies, and I'll chime in.
I mean, in terms of that, yes, because you have to find the middle ground, because a lot of times people get caught up in that career aspiration and they become that workaholic because they're trying to get to that level that they want, and then they forget about their partner, and then that's when you find the person always saying, you were always working, you didn't have time for me, you was this, and the main thing that they're saying, I was working towards something for us. So
Right.
it's kind of like you got to find a balance, or it's going to still cause
You,
some type of confusion.
you.
Fat goddess.
Well, I'm thinking hard on this.
Uh-huh.
Um, I think that's very important as well. And a lot of times it even has to, I mean, one of the things that has to be discussed is like educational goals coupled with the career goals. Because a lot of times the reasons that you go to school to get degrees is aligned with the career that you hope to attain once you get your degrees. And some people aren't don't want to go to college, don't want to get degrees. They're entrepreneurs, or they do trades, or what have you, something that doesn't necessarily involve a higher education. So for me personally, there have been I guess you could say relationships that didn't work out because we didn't have any balance in that area. Like it might be somebody that's working in a factory, or you know some other form of work that I guess you could say is considered blue collar, so to speak. And by me pursuing my education, just even in regular conversations, it'll be, oh, but you're supposed to be the smart one. And I'm like, what does that have to do with anything? You know what I'm saying? Like, where is that coming from? So you definitely have to have those pre-discussions so that you know if a person is even comfortable with where you are as far as your education or your career, because that definitely can be an issue if one or both of you are not comfortable with what the other one is doing.
Okay. I hear what you're saying. I agree to that to an extent, but I think that's based on the person's individual security level and who they are.
Absolutely, but that's why I'm saying you have to have a discussion.
Right, because I think the world we live in now, there are more entrepreneurs, like you spoke on, you touched on in your statement. There are more entrepreneurs, skilled trades. There are a lot of skilled trades that make a lot more money than people that have degrees.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's like, I think, again, it goes to the security level of that person. And again, communication, back to communication, which I think is
Mm-hmm.
going to be prevalent through all of these points that we talk about, these taboo ships. Because again, with the $70,000 lady and the $35,000 guy I was telling you about, he was a janitor. and she was like some VP of some, Fortune 500 company. So again, I think I don't, how can I articulate this correctly? I think that it doesn't really matter where you're at. I think what matters is where you both have decided that you want to go, and what are you willing to do to facilitate that end goal. So you may not have the education that your significant other have, but if you have the drive and ambition and the work ethic to get whatever you've communicated your goals to be, then I think that's what really matters. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's just where I'm at with that. So I think it's important to I think education is important to an extent, but if you're an entrepreneur, if you have a skilled trade, you know what I'm saying? If you're good at something you do, because hell, right now it's barbers out here that make $3,000-4,000 a week.
Most definitely.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
it's crazy how the
and
game
then it's that college debt hit you, and you ain't made what you thought you was
right.
making yet.
So we live in an age now where people are like, bump that, I'm gonna do this so I don't spend the next 20 years paying off no student loan.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So there's many levels to it.
Yeah, and then even speaking on like a skilled worker, I was when I worked for one of my other jobs, they was sending me to different little classes, and there was a guy that owned a big name construction company here in Atlanta, and he's a black guy, and he was just saying how for us, a lot of us have got away from skilled trades.
Right.
And he's like, and it's big money in it. And we used to be in it heavy. And he's like, and I don't see us in it like that. And I hate it. He's like, because I would prefer to give, because he's a multi-millionaire. And he's like, I would prefer and love to train some of these black guys to make these $80,000 checks that per year that I'm giving out. But because they look down on it being a trade, they're not coming over here.
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
And I was like, whoo, speak it.
Brother,
big money.
That's a whole
but it's layers to that too, though, because some of them, it's not even a matter of them looking down on the skilled trade. It's them being turned away from the skilled trade for other races. So we don't have a whole bunch of multi-million-dollar skilled trade business owners.
Yeah, that's true too. But
it's quite a bit here in Atlanta, truth be told. It really and truly is, because I met a lot of them, and they're struggling to try to maintain their numbers of us because we ain't coming to get the jobs.
And we live in a time
and it's like he won't. They like those are working jobs. They want somebody young to come in, and they don't want that. They want to be a rapper.
And we living in a time now where, like, if you look at the world today, the baby boomers are dying out. There's a generational shift. Mm-hmm. So we have a lot of our young people who can go to school and learn those skilled trades, and they can get in the door, especially in places like Georgia, especially places like Illinois. These two places I know for a fact. They looking for people to get in the door. Racism does exist in a lot of these situations, but there are places where brothers and sisters too, because there's some sisters out here welding like a mama. Yes. They can get in the door. You know what I'm saying? So it's a route. It's a route for brothers and sisters to get in.
And I agree with what both of y'all are saying, but what I'm saying is I think that's where the gap is when you're talking, because of course with younger people, because like for instance, I'm teaching high school right now, and a lot of my seniors are going for skilled trades. They don't want to go to college just for, like what you said, Keely, they don't want the debt. You know what I'm saying? And some of them are brilliant when it comes to like their grades and what they could do going to school. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of them are like, nah, I'm not going to do that, Ms. Riley. I'm going blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? Which is good. And if you got any of the names of those businesses, I would love to have them to pass on to them, because I'm telling you, I got 5 senior classes and most of them don't want to go to college just for some of the things that are going on with the debt that you accrue. You're not getting the job you want when you finish. You know what I'm saying? This younger generation, a lot of them, I used to say it looks real grim, but a lot of them have a lot of oomph in them too. And they're kind of going back to the old ways of, let's get this money. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's not going to school.
Yeah. This on the side note, to piggyback what you're saying, a lot of these youngsters just are understanding. They watch the mistakes that their parents and stuff made, and you know, there are a lot of situations where your parents, your relatives have went to college, grad school, and all of this, and you still working for somebody making less than what you really worth when they can jump out here and take a skilled trade and control their own destiny. And even if they work for somebody, they're making six figures out the gate, or at least within
Right.
a year or two's time, as
Right.
opposed to you working 30 years for somebody and then your pension is a third of what you're worth. You know,
Man.
these children are more so about controlling their own destiny. The ones who got the head on their shoulders, they're about controlling their own destiny and changing the narrative. You know what I mean? So that's just on the side.
Look, we digress.
Yeah.
All right, number 3, friends of the opposite sex. We've most definitely talked about this one before.
Yeah. I've had conversations. Y'all go ahead, ladies first.
Defining boundaries with friends from the opposite sex can be a tricky subject when one starts to commit to a relationship. Friendships with the opposite gender may be one of the freedoms that need to be discussed. Boundaries should be clear, defined, and they should be applied not just in face-to-face interactions, but in all forms of interactions, text, chats, social medias as well. And Simone said, "Good evening."
Good evening, Sensei.
And Angela said, "Yes, the ultimate irony is that college may create debt slavery versus being in charge of you." I can't see the rest
Of your own by going to a vocational trade.
Thank you. I don't know why my screen cut off. Let's I'm gonna have to see about that.
I'm just waiting for y'all to comment on this
Well, you know, we've talked about this. And I lived with a male friend. And nobody that I was dating was trying to hear it. And like even now, this is what maybe a year later since we've had this conversation. I don't know. But even now, new prospects are like, if I don't live with my friend anymore, but still when I mention that that's my best friend, that's one of my best male friends, it's always that brow raise, like, I don't know about that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I guess that's another thing that depends upon the individual. I don't know.
They put that Soldier Boy voice on your friend. I don't have a whole lot of friends of the opposite sex. I have a few. I'm very clear about who they are. I make sure to introduce. They are very clear that there's nothing happening. If we all going out, we can all go out. If you want to go, you're more than welcome to. And I don't have inappropriate exchanges with them at all. So it is what it is. I don't have a problem. And plus, I'm single, so it really don't matter.
I think these days and age we have to discuss the whole topic of is the your friend of the opposite sex hetero, or you know what I'm saying? Because I think that plays a part too in these days and ages. You know what I'm saying?
They don't even care.
I'm just saying it. I mean, I think it play a part, but that's not what I'm on. Like my point is this:
okay,
I have a lot of women friends. I have more women friends than I do male friends. Because anybody who really know me know I don't like dudes like that. And I always kept women around me because it was less trouble. You can have more fun and stay out of trouble, right? So, but one thing I can say is none of my friends that are women, we have an understanding. So if they're in a relationship or if I'm in a relationship, there's a respect level. And everybody don't subscribe to this, but to steer clear of potential situations, because you don't know what the security level of the person you're dealing with is or whatever. So to avoid all of that, especially in something new, you just, really involve yourself with that. But you do communicate, once again, communication, and let them know, hey, I have a lot of different friends. I have a lot of friends of the opposite sex. This is the boundaries that we have. And then that's when the trust comes in. So for me, I don't really care. Like if it's somebody I'm dating and they got a friend of the opposite sex, like I don't really care because if you a woman, you're gonna handle yourself accordingly. Just like me being a man, I'm gonna handle myself accordingly. And it's just certain things we just ain't got to have no long conversation about because we grown out here. So if you feel like you got to sit down with somebody and you got to have elementary conversations about, well, I don't think y'all should be this, that, and other, then y'all got a lot more work to do as individuals before y'all deal with each other. So there takes a certain maturity level that you have to have in general. Because the reality is we live in a world. We interact with each other. We interact
Yes.
with all types of different people. So you can't expect someone to cut off their life. But I think there's a respect level and there's a boundary that you have to create. I think most successful marriages are marriages that have boundaries, so to speak. I hate to use the word boundary, but they have very clear communication. Again, that word that Angie used about transparency. Like I have learned that is a very important aspect to any relationship, especially a romantic relationship. So be transparent. Like it's just what it is. Talk about it. If the person you with is has some insecurities about it, then y'all talk about that and y'all explore that and y'all find ways to be amicable with each other when dealing with that. But if that person is just really insecure and there's no way around it, then we got some self-assessment to do, and y'all might not need to be dealing with each other on that level.
Tell them. All right. Angela said, why limit to opposite sex? Maybe same sex. Person could be bisexual, pansexual, two spirit. Come on with it. Yes.
That's how I began my statement. I was like, I think in these days and age, if you got a friend that's opposite, it's just like, okay, y'all women, if y'all got friends that's men, but they gay, it's like, look, I'm not PC, so if people get offended, I ain't trying to offend y'all, so get over it. But if you a woman and you got gay friends, it's kind of like, why you tripping? Because they like women any damn way. And if you a male and you got it, well, I don't know. I'm just saying. I think if you're a non-hetero person, I think they're kind of lines. It's like whatever. You know what I'm trying to say?
No, because men don't care. Okay, so a lot of men don't care if he's heterosexual or bisexual or gay. They say he's still a man.
Well, that goes back into what I said before about your security level. There has to be a certain maturity level as you as an individual to even, like, to me, that's part of the whole being in a relationship thing. That's why it's important for you to not only be healed, but be whole as a person before you engage with somebody else in some type of relationship. Because these are the things that are going to come along in a relationship. You're dealing, it's not like this person was living in the damn monastery or the nunnery and you met them. They had a life before you. So there has to be some type of maturation level, maturity level for you to be like, okay, look, like I know you got friends of the opposite sex. Let's talk about boundaries.
Yeah,
You know
exactly.
what I'm saying? What are your triggers in this situation? Do you
Have the appropriate conversation.
right? Do you have any triggers in this situation? Do you understand that I have friends of the opposite sex and this is how tight we are? These are things that we do. How about you and your friends of the opposite sex? Are these things going to compromise what we're trying to create together? Because at the end of the day, y'all trying to create something together that transcends any friendship if y'all trying to do something for real. So it's just about, again, communication, transparency, and knowing what your partner's triggers are. Now, if they just happy and trigger, then there needs to be some self-assessment, and y'all need to reevaluate if y'all need to go forward in any type of relationship. Because there's some self-healing that this person may need to be doing.
Well, then sometimes that's when that toxicity comes in and they like, it's all on you. It ain't me. You should be making me feel comfortable. You shouldn't be doing what you doing with who you doing it with.
And that is a number one reason why there needs to be some self-assessment and you may need to walk away. Because part of you being whole before you engage with somebody else is knowing who you are and finding happiness with yourself and then not be predicated on you being with somebody else. Because if your happiness is based upon solely on somebody else, you don't need to be with nobody. You need to
That's
go
right.
to the therapist, and you need to be exercising some self-care, mentally and emotionally. Period. Period.
Preach and put a period on that.
That's it. That's all.
All right, number 4, past relationships. Past relationships can reveal a lot about a person. They can also give birth to insecurity and resentment. When talking about past relationships, focusing more on general themes than the details is the best way to handle this topic. Remember that the main goal of discussing past relationships is to strengthen and nurture the current one.
That's bullshit. But I digress. I go to the ladies.
I can see it on your face as soon as I said it.
Y'all go ahead. I say my ladies first. Ladies first.
You want to
Uh,
go?
I like what it said about generalizing,
Uh-huh.
but it all of this goes back to what FloydGod said, as far as it depends upon your maturity level and where you are in life. Because somebody might want details to still get a good idea of what type of person you are.
Mm-hmm.
Some people might just want general idea of what you did in past relationships, or some people might not want to know at all. They might be like, let's start where we are and move forward and not worry about what happened in the past. So it depends upon the individual, because I have, from my own experience, I've been general, I've given details, and I've been vague. I've done all three, and it just depended upon the individual and what, I guess, they felt like they needed to know to move forward. So I don't know. I'm all over the place with that question.
So I have like ended up stopped talking to somebody because their whole conversation with me was constantly talking about somebody else and the relationships they had with somebody else, and I'm like, I'm here. What? I ain't talking about. But anyway, and then the other side of that though is my husband and I, we were best friends first. We knew each other prior to dating each other. So there was a lot of the dating stuff that we kind of already knew about each other. So we were okay with details because we knew a lot already. So it wasn't no surprises to a whole lot. And you stop all that head nodding and laughing. That's why I don't like your ass. Right now. Right now.
I'm just agreeing with you.
No, you're agreeing too much. I need you to take that down from a 10 to a 2.
Oh.
Well, that's it. That's all. But most times I don't usually discuss past relationships because what's the point?
Well, Lord, I'm gonna preface these next statements with this. There's a person in my family that I really admire that told me a long time ago that you have to love the person that you have.
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of times you might not be the person in the new relationship that you were in that past relationship.
Right.
And so it's very important that when you start talking about your past with someone, there's a high probability that that person may take all of the negative things, depending on their maturity level, right? And their security level. And they might take those things and create a very less than ideal profile of you. And then they'll begin what's called the Inspector Gadget world. But that they start looking for where titties, you know what I'm saying? Like, is this the same? So I think it's important to talk about it only when it's necessary. Like in my own experience, I've been in relationships where a situation may have happened and there may have been a disagreement. And so when we have the communication to try to come to solutions and move forward, I may bring up something that happened to me before to is part of communication to say, look, I've been through something like this, and this is what happened when I did this. But I think it's very important to try to steer as far away as you can from talking about past relationships, because your past shouldn't matter in your now. You know what I'm saying? So who you are now in this relationship, that's all that matters. Everything you did before that is what molded you into who you are now. You might have had 20 years of bad relationships and then met this person today, and those 20 years of bad relationships make you the great significant other that you are today because you know what not to do. But part of healing and being whole and going into a new relationship is letting go of those past things, because those things are less than ideal and they can lead to your relationship going awry. So I would stay away.
All right, we got somebody we ain't seen in a minute.
What's going on, Dave?
Dave, how you doing? As a listener, when talking about past relationships, I use it as a gauge of things like, are they over the person? Did they take any responsibility? And so on.
You're going to pick that up from dealing with that person. You know what I'm saying? You're going to pick that up from dealing with that person. But again, like I said, okay, so let me ask this question to y'all. Let's say tomorrow you meet somebody that you really smitten over, right? And you decide that you want to engage in a relationship with them, right? You feel like you at that point, right? But let's say your past several relationships were what they were. Is it really important? Because you're not the same person that you were in those past relationships. So is it really important for you to tell this new person about who you were? Because that has nothing to do with who you are. Like, it's like carrying baggage into something new.
But so everything that comes from a past relationship doesn't have to be negative, though.
True. But for the most part, in the context in which we're speaking, a lot of times when people talk about past relationships, for the most part, they're talking about things that were less than ideal. If you think about most of the times in your life that you have spoken to one about a past relationship, I can bet on it that 7 times out of 10, you were speaking on things that were less than ideal. Okay. I can guarantee it. Very rarely do we find ourselves, unless we're, to Dave's point, we may be still stuck on the person, which goes to the maturity level and all of that. Very rarely do we find ourselves in a new relationship talking about an old relationship about how great it was. Because if it was so great, why
you ain't in it?
What I'm saying?
Yeah, but you might talk about how great you were in that relationship.
And then you talk about how things went awry. Because you might have been the good one and that person might not have. Because whatever the reason was, you're no longer with this person. Whether it was an amicable split or whatever, there was something less than ideal that caused you not to be with that person, or you'd still be with the person. So again, in a new relationship, anything that we talk about from this past relationship can cause a problem in our new situation. So it's important to steer clear of it, unless there's some reason we need to draw some parallels. You know what I'm saying? Like, which is very rare, because again, you're not the person in this new situation that you were in that old situation.
I still think it just depends, because sometimes you talk about things that went awry because you don't want it to happen in the new relationship. Like, for instance, I have talked to men that have trust issues, and they may say why they got that issue in a past relationship. So it's kind of like, I'm just using that as an example. So it's like, for instance, how we're talking about being transparent. So their point may be, I want to be in a relationship moving forward where we're transparent with one another. You see what I'm saying? So it just depends upon what they're talking about out of that past relationship.
Okay, so let's use that example, like you said. Let's say a person had trust issues, and now, like you said, they're in this new relationship and they want transparency. Again, to my point from earlier, you need to heal and be whole before you engage with someone else in a new situation. Because roll with me on this one. If you are just using the example, if you are in the past relationship or ships that you've had trust issues, right? And those trust issues scarred you to a degree. That means that you have a guard up for you to even relate to this person. I had trust issues or I have trust issues. You're looking for this person to be a solution or a champion or a rescuer from your past situations. But have you healed yourself and got whole as a person? When you meet that new person, it's square one. There are no trust issues. There are none of that. You're not even going to talk about that. It's just
But
this is who I am. You understand what I'm saying?
I do understand what you're saying, but that doesn't mean that you're not healed or whole. You still okay, so you're speaking of already being in a relationship. I guess what I'm saying is when you're having the conversations and interacting with one another that lead into becoming or being in a relationship. Mm-hmm. So if you're I still have to know if you're a person that's comfortable with being transparent. That doesn't mean that I haven't healed from the past relationship.
But these are things you're going to pick up on through your interaction with this person.
You may not necessarily pick up on it.
So you're trying to tell me when you have conversations with people, you can't tell if they're transparent or not based on how you speak with them and how y'all talk?
It depends upon what you're talking about.
So in the relationship aspect, if you're having a conversation going back and forth with this person, y'all getting to know each other, y'all chatting. I see you, Keely. I'm just trying to make this quick point. If y'all going with each other, y'all chatting with each other to get to learn each other, you're going to notice that transparency in that person or if they have it or not.
Depending upon what you talk about.
In the context, So I'm gonna leave it alone for that. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So my comment to that is this: while what you are saying is exactly right, there's so many people who are not healed or are partially healed and go into a relationship because we in real life and they don't want to take that extra time to get all the way there, or they meet somebody when they starting to work on it and they ain't all the way finished. And instead of saying, hold on, let me finish and be here so I can meet you there, they like, I'm gonna work on it while I'm with them. And so that's where the issue comes. And it's a lot of people that don't recognize also that they ain't healed. They're delusional and saying, oh, I got over that. I'm through with that. I did that. But then all this stuff starts regurgitating that happened that they don't realize where it's coming. I don't know why I acted like that. I don't know where that came from. Because you're triggered by something that didn't heal. I get you. I agree with you. But the reality is there's so many people in a relationship that ain't healed, that didn't take their time and didn't all the way work it out, that it's kind of a catch-22.
It's like I don't know if I read this or we talked about this before. I'm not sure where the information came from, but I remember somebody said or I read when you get out of a relationship, you need to take at least a year to 2 years to heal yourself, to get with yourself, to get all of that out of you, whatever you need to deal with before you engage with somebody else. So to get back with you and I were talking about FACKTgoddess with the whole trust issues thing, using that as an example. I am speaking to the context of if you get in a new relationship. What I'm saying is if I break up with somebody because of trust issues and I move on with my life, time go by, and then I get with this new person and we're talking so that we can get to a new relationship or whatever we're doing, right? And I say to this person, hey, so-and-so, boom, Quisha, whatever, I have trust issues. So it's very important for me, for you to understand that because I have trust issues, I need for us to move in a certain way. Well, what I'm saying to this person is, I haven't gotten over something, or I may have triggers. I have not healed. I am not whole yet. So please don't do anything that may bring me back to those situations and remind me of that or trigger me from my past. Whereas, and this is debatable as hell, whereas if I'm a whole healed person, I'm not even going into the new relationship like that. I'm going into the new relationship dealing with just whatever. If I see something that makes me feel like I can't trust them, then I'll deal with that issue. But I'm not gonna pull from a trigger because I'm healed, I'm whole. I'm not bringing that with me. That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Just using that as an example. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Good.
All right. Evita said the past is the past for a reason.
Talk to him. Talk to him.
And we're gonna put a pin on that one. Moving on. Number 5. Sex. We got a whole good lot of heated debates about this sex topic. Talking about sex and sexual compatibility is a big one. Many feel unsure and intimidated by the subject. So, how do you steer the discussion towards this topic? Just talk about it. There's no other way around it. Remember that sexual compatibility is an ongoing process. Years of being together, maturity, and life events may have an impact on your views on sexuality. Now, that's most definitely true because some of the stuff that I used to do, I don't do no more.
What do you mean?
Some of the stuff sexually that I used to be open to, I ain't open to it no more.
Oh.
My age has changed some of my views on sexuality.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Ladies?
I mean, that's still a part of talking about past relationships.
Is it?
If you're talking about sex.
Please expound.
And your preferences.
No. I mean, your preference is your preference, regardless of a past relationship.
So your preference can be your preference without it involving sex too.
Please
I'm just
expound.
saying.
Yeah, I'm confused.
Oh, well, I ain't got no comment on this one. Y'all go ahead.
Oh, say what you gonna say.
I don't have anything to say.
You sounded like you were saying
It
quite
did. It was going in a direction I didn't understand. I needed.
I need you to expound on that last statement you made.
Yeah.
It's okay. I digressed. I'll listen to what y'all have to say.
There she go. Oh, boo. Y'all type boo, fat guts.
Keely?
I said what I had to say. I'm open with talking about sex, period. Because I enjoy it. I don't mind communicating what I need, what I want. I don't mind asking you what you need, what you want. I don't mind exploring and doing other things. But again, like I said at the beginning, some of the things that I was open to, I am no longer open to in my age of maturity. Track Jipper said that's some bull jive, fat goddess. I agree. Track Jipper.
Well, we know who Track Jipper is.
Yeah, we all know who that is, don't we? Jack Tripper backwards. That's what that is. But so you said sex. You talking about the act, preferences, and what else was it?
It says sex and sexual compatibility. And your maturity may, or years of being together, or life events may impact your views on sexuality.
Well, hello world. I'm FloydGod, and I'll be treading very lightly as my mother is on this podcast.
Yes.
But I'm going to be as real as I possibly can. Hi, Mom. So, I'm going to say this to you. Sexual compatibility, I think when you meet somebody, you really don't know if you're compatible. I think it's something kind of instinctual.
It's an attraction.
It's like it's something that you feel.
Mm-hmm.
I think preferences change with age.
Mm-hmm.
What you may have been into at 25, you might not be on at 45.
Right here.
Me personally, my preference has been the same because you know how I feel about the threesome thing and all that. I can't concentrate. I talk about all that. So I don't know, but I think in relationships, it's so funny because I can see my mother in my brain, but because I'm trying to be tread lightly.
Yes.
But, I think it's in relationships, compatibility again is instinctual, is just something that kind of happens. I think if you get into sexual contact and things go a bit awry, one is not satisfied, I think that's when we had a conversation. May not be the quarterly conversation, but there's a conversation nonetheless. And I think that'll get you all on that page. We did have a heated discussion a few months ago about self gratification and things like that. So I think that plays a part. So just again, I'm really trying to articulate this well. Communication is important when we talk about sexuality. Bottom line, communication is important. I think other things are just instinctual. There are things you're going to feel. It's just going to happen. You know, we're all animals, mammals, so we're going to feel things. It's going to be instinctual. Once it starts getting deeper, you have talks about it. You talk about it. You talk about what you like. I mean, and that there's certain levels to that too. Because remember, I'm the one that was like, look, exploration is important. You know what I'm saying? So, maybe we can expound on this at another time.
Yes.
But I'll just say communication, exploration are important when we're dealing with sexuality and sex and relationships. Those are two most important things. Exploration and communication. And I think that everybody knows what we're talking about when we say that. And at this point, I'll digress.
And you sure you ain't got nothing to say, man?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Moving on, number 6, communication styles. Communication styles vary from one person to another. One person may feel comfortable saying things outright, while the other may hold back. One party may be an amplifier, one who communicates by sharing what they have to say in great volumes of detail, while the other one is a condenser, one who is more often than not comfortable sharing only a little of what is absolutely necessary. While there may be differences in how people communicate, understanding communication styles is key to a respectful and nourishing relationship.
Ladies.
FACKTgoddess, since she ain't had nothing to say on the other one. Come on.
I already said at the beginning that communication and finances was key.
But we're talking about the styles now.
You really trying to slide out of here.
We're talking about the styles now. All of
Well,
details.
I mean, the styles definitely matter because, like for instance, I'm a detail-oriented person. And for me to communicate with somebody on a regular basis, that's just a yes, no, maybe, okay, that would be a problem with me, or for me rather, because sometimes it's like, okay, but what does you saying yes mean? Yes, you're gonna do it today. Yes, you're gonna do it tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Some things still need a little more detail, just depending upon what you're speaking on. But there are people that can be opposites in communication like that, and the partner that is the one word person, so to speak, knows when they need to be more detailed. And I guess that would also be a part of when you're getting to know one another and being transparent about things and how you communicate. Because, if he can be like, yes, I'm going to wash the car Saturday, so that I won't be like, well, when you going to wash the car? You said yes, when you going to wash, you know what I'm saying? It just, once you get to know each other, I guess even having that mutual respect for one another can curve or carve how you communicate with one another if you have different communication styles.
I'm just going to throw this disclaimer out here for you, FACKTgoddess. As you all recall, FACKTgoddess is the one who really had an issue with why we can't talk during the football game, but watching got to go upstairs. So I just want people who listen to understand that the comment she just made, this is the history. So I digress. Keely.
Yeah, and yours sounded so much like a little naggy to me. Oh my God. It was he told you you're gonna wash the car. Now you got to know what day he gonna wash the car. You want to
I need
what place you going to detail it in. Like, God damn.
No, because if I ask you, so if he knows me, he knows if I say, babe, are you gonna wash the car? I need it done. because I asked, not Saturday. Like
If
today,
you want it
Thursday.
done, go wash it yourself immediately.
Oh,
Ain't
no.
nothing wrong with
I'm
you.
not doing that.
Okay, so then let him wash the car when he gonna wash the car. If he told you gonna wash your car.
The person
Again.
offered to wash your
Again, that's how you communicate. That's not how I communicate.
You're right.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to communicate with your ass in no relationship.
Well, we're not lesbians, so we won't have to worry about that.
I know, but I'm just saying. Period.
Or bisexual or pansexual or two-spirit.
I need to look that up because I don't know what that is.
I don't either. I was gonna ask her.
Who what? Two spirits?
Yeah.
We'll look at it and go into another time because that sounds like that's real interesting.
Well,
we're not gonna digress. Come on, ask about this communication.
Exactly.
Let's see. So, communication styles for me are very important. I think I'm a middle of the road person in terms of that because I don't want to give you a whole bunch of volumes of details, and I don't necessarily need you to give me volumes of detail. I need you to just give me enough. And if I have a question, I'll ask. And if you have a question, ask me. And then we can keep it moving. I don't really, now I don't want you to be where you ain't saying nothing, because then that's an issue. But I do want you to communicate back and forth, have a talk. But that's about it. I try to keep it simple.
Well, I think for me, I'm very transparent in my relationship. So it's not really too much reading between the lines, because I'm blunt to the point where I may come off as brash sometimes. So I'm a simple man. So for me, it's like you already kind of know. I'm gonna be very wide open, so you already know. Like
except for when you watch football. Except for when you watch a football.
Yeah, well, I mean that's a whole nother conversation. You're exactly right. But if only time somebody I'm in a relationship with might have an issue with me in communication is if something has gone awry or something is really less than ideal going on and I'm still trying to process it. Because I have a very vast and vivid imagination. So for me, when I'm talking to somebody about a problem, I end up reliving it mentally. So those feelings and emotions and things happen again, which have a profound effect on me. So I tend to compartmentalize and just talk. I try to talk about things with my immediate circle of people that I trust in one setting if I can, because I don't want to keep going through that. But for the most part, like general communication, I'm very transparent. Like people who know me, have been in relationships with me, they know who I am, how I am. So there's no reading in between the lines, because I can't stand nothing like that. Beating around the bush. This is what it is. If I tell, and just using your example, if a man offer to wash your car, if he offers to wash the car, you as the woman have to be patient whenever he gonna wash the car, because he offered to wash the car. He could have just let you go to the QT or whatever they call this stuff down here and let the crackhead or something dry you off. But I'm just saying. But my communication level is, I don't know what the phrase is for my level. I'm very open. I'm transparent as hell. So it ain't really too much. Like, if you ask me, I'm gonna tell you, and that's pretty much it.
All right, and we got Angela went ahead and gave us that two-spirit definition. It refers to a person who identifies as having both a masculine and a feminine spirit, and is used by some indigenous people to describe their sexual gender and or spiritual identity.
Oh, thank you, Angela.
Yes. Pansexual, homosexual, two-spirit, academic, prolific, generic, quality control. It's so many. I'm being funny. There's a lot of damn titles out here. I be confused. I'm just a brother. That's it.
Number 7, household chores.
Household chores?
Yeah. Chores, errands, housework.
That's something they don't talk about.
Conflict, if not plainly discussed. Typically, the misunderstandings arise when couples disagree on what clean means.
Mm-hmm.
One may have a relaxed rule on what is acceptably clean, while the other may be overly zealous about the upkeep of the household. Think of Monica from Friends.
Oh,
When it comes to household chores, couples need to remember that not all conflicts can be resolved. Manage conflict through compromise or by finding a middle ground. Start by creating a list of tasks and together identify who does what. And Angela said, "We're welcome."
that's what
Um,
I with. Ladies.
so for me, I look at this a little bit differently because I am neat enough, but I'm not a neat freak. Um, but I do want certain areas of my home clean. And when I say clean, I mean clean. Like, for instance, my living room area should remain clean. The kitchen should remain clean. The bathroom that guests have to go in should always be clean. It should never be, hey, go in there and check and make sure that that's clean when somebody come to your house. Because you never know. But my living room area, don't nobody live in there for real. So why is it dirty? Keep it clean. Kitchen, I don't need nobody who don't pay rent living here, i.e. creatures, because y'all don't keep the kitchen clean. Um, in terms of that, I also, for me, I look at it slightly different. Because a lot of homes, both people work. So I feel like those chores, errands, and responsibilities should be shared because we sharing, both of us going to work for 8 hours. One of us may be the person to go get the kids. The other person may be at home cooking dinner while you going to get the kids and doing those errands. Or somebody may be better at going grocery shopping or don't care about going grocery shopping. Because in this pandemic, I hate grocery shopping. I hate going to the grocery store right now. And I used to not mind. But right now, I'd be like, oh, it's too many people out here. I got to go.
That's interesting.
And I might not go grocery shopping.
That's interesting. Your perspective on that is very interesting. But fact goddess.
Well,
She don't want to do no chore, no errands like washing her car.
I smell a digression coming on.
I think I'm a little more traditional when it comes to that. I think males do certain things, women do certain things, except for cooking. um Everybody that I meet knows this. I'm not the traditional cooking woman. That just wasn't something that was instilled in me when I was younger. So as I grew older, God just blessed me with people that like to cook. Friends, family, men. But as far as household chores, I do those. When I'm in a relationship, I just do them. Laundry, clean up the bathroom, the kitchen. I do the chores. And I will cook, but I'm just not that happy-go-lucky woman that's like, "Ooh, let me make a dinner list for the month." And no, I'm not doing that.
I don't know if it's too many of those for real anyway.
I mean,
Cook out of necessity. Angela said, my husband is the cook.
Red
yeah.
chicken bizzle.
Come on, Angela and husband.
It might
Sound
be
like my
throwing
type of
down though.
relationship.
Might be throwing down. Well, I say this. We talking about the terms of relationships, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I cook anyway. Like I come from a household of cooks outside of maybe one of us.
Yeah.
Initial start with A.
She don't want to cook. She ain't
I'm
got to
talking
cook.
about my sister.
I know she don't want to cook.
Nah, she should, yeah, something like that. So, but you know what? Angie will cook now. She cooks some things. She cooks things. So I ain't gonna beat her down like that. She be cooking.
she said, and we have a housekeeper.
I know that's right. I
So,
know that's right.
And she said, wow, bro.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he did too much, Angela. Get him.
No, listen. My sister will tell you. She said, "Wow." but she'll tell you she ain't one for all the cook. But she will cook certain things, but she ain't never really been one for cooking.
That's why I said, yay, Angela. I feel
but Biz will be throwing down. My brother-in-law, that brother throws down. But I've always cooked, like, so, and I've been single for a long time. I'm just used to cooking on my own. I meal prep and stuff. So in relationships, for the most part, I cook. Because in my mind, y'all say what the hell y'all want. But in my mind, I know if I cook, it's gonna be done right. And a lot of the women that I have dated in my life, so listen, my mama showed me how to cook. And so my mama is I'm some of the perfectionist when it comes to cook, right? You know how most black mothers, when they cook, they ain't got to measure nothing. They just know what to put in, how much to put in. Yeah. And I remember asking her, I was like, Mom, how much you put in for this? And she said, look here, boy, you just know what to do. And I didn't realize it till later on. I was blessed with the force. And now I can just drop it in. I know what to do, when to do it. But anyway, my point is, most of the women I've dated, I've ate they cooking.
He ain't like it.
It just because
if any of FloydGod's exes is on here, you heard it from him. He ain't like your food.
Certain dishes be
he like your food,
but not all. And so but most of the women I dated, they know I did the cooking. Now, as far as cleaning up, I have a certain rule with cleaning up. We live in an age where both of us, most of the time, both man and woman are working. Mm-hmm. So I kind of take the old school approach, but it's not necessarily so old school. If you see it needs to be done, you just fucking do it. You know what I'm saying? Now, I am kind of OCD about how I want my house. I'm plus I got a cat. So I sweep a lot, do the floor. I got to have the plug-ins. Like, I'm one of them. So in relationships, I like for my house to be a certain way. So I do get OCD, pick your shit up. Because my rule is, if you clean up as you go, we ain't got to keep doing this no more. You understand what I'm saying? So, I'm real OCD.
Slide in, he did. Pick your shit up. I said, see that slide in, you did? Pick your shit up.
If you go in the bathroom and you taking the shower, you going to brush your teeth, take a shower, you're going to do all that. That means you need to take them cloths out and put them in the dirty clothes, whatever you're going to do. Clean the tub, clean the sink up. You understand what I'm saying? So the next person can come in there and have the same clean experience that you have had. You dig what I'm saying? Now,
absolutely.
With cooking, I don't have a problem with cooking because cooking is kind of therapeutic for me. So, and I actually enjoy, if I'm in a relationship, I actually do enjoy cooking and somebody eating my food and, they enjoying it. That's a kick for me. I don't know where I get that from. That's just me. But, so I don't have a problem with cooking. But I do get tired. Sometimes I get tired. So if I'm in a relationship and we living together, I may purposely get lazy one day out of the week. You feel like cooking something for me? But as far as cleaning, I don't mind cleaning because I like for my house to be a certain way. And if we live in there together, there's supposed to be a investment in the cleanliness of your home, because you don't want certain spirits in your house when you got a dirty home. I kind of come from that too. Also, what I don't do, I will not do a woman's laundry. I will not wash a woman's clothes. And that comes from probably just growing up. Like, I don't know if it's something, because I'm gonna leave that alone, but I don't wash women's clothes. Okay. I think that's something that a woman needs to handle on her own, because y'all have different things going on in your life. You understand what I'm saying? And so some women feel embarrassed by a man handling some of their garments. I'm just telling you, that don't mean they're nasty or nothing. That don't mean nothing like that. Some women are very old school and they just have an issue with that. I said some. So for me, I don't mess around with a woman's clothes. Wash your own shit. I'm gonna wash my stuff. Now, sheets, pillowcases, you understand what I'm saying? We with that. But wash your own stuff. And I don't want a woman washing my clothes either. Oh. I wash my own clothes because you might not know how to take care of my shit. My t-shirts, I wash my t-shirts on hot and I don't put them in the dryer. I hang them up. You know what I'm saying?
But wouldn't she know that?
I ain't got time to teach her. I'm one of them people, I'd rather do it myself. That way I'm content and I'm happy. It's called plausible deniability. If you don't know, you can't be charged with the crime. So if I don't have, I do my own thing. That way we ain't got to worry about it, and the woman can do her own thing.
Well, I don't mind if you don't mind doing your own.
Yeah,
That's
I do
fine
my
by
own
me.
laundry now. I do my
And
own
that's
laundry.
fine by me. If Vita said I was raised that if the furniture isn't moved, it isn't clean. It's straightening up.
I sure appreciate you for that because that's how I was. You got to move stuff around. So again, I don't have a problem with cleaning. If I see something that needs to be done, I'm gonna do it. I don't look at splitting chores. You do this, you do that. Now, if we home on the weekend and we trying to make it happen, we just doing a big clean, because we home.
Mhm.
Then I may split some stuff up, but I'm gonna give you the easy stuff. Landscaping on the house, I'm doing all the landscaping cleanup because that's how I was raised. You got to have your curb appeal. Thank you, mother, teaching me curb appeal. So, I do landscape and all that. But for the inside of the house, it just, if you see a need, you do it. But I'm going to do the cooking. I ain't tripping. So that's that.
Mhm. Well,
Hopefully, that's long
on top of that, when you mentioned about the lawn and all of that stuff,
mm-hmm.
so my parents, they had all girls except for my brother. He was grown and gone. So we
Mm-hmm.
did the lawn. We cut
Oh,
down trees in the backyard, like
okay.
renting equipment and tying stuff and pulling while she had. We did all of that. So I can do all of that. I don't
Mm-hmm.
mind assisted. I don't want to do it because I had to when I was younger, but it is
My
what it
mama,
is.
my mama,
My, my,
my Saturdays were cut the grass, edge the grass, sweep the curb, because you got to have curb appeal.
yeah.
Sweep the sidewalk, trim the bushes, tie the rose bushes up, pull the weeds. That was my Saturdays for I don't know how long. So I am a champion landscaper, and I will lay mulch too. Champion.
Yeah,
So,
that was us. But because I guess my mom was more of you need to know how to be self-sufficient also. So I know how to change a tire.
mm-hmm.
I know how to do all of the stuff that would can be considered man. That I ain't saying that I want to, but I'm no damsel in distress.
I feel it. I feel it. Yeah, my mom
So
was a Jane of
I'm
all
the
trades.
damsel. I'm the damsel.
Oh, good.
you say you're a damsel. No, I got triple A. I got triple A right now, baby. I got triple A, but I know how to do it if I need to.
No,
My
I'm just
mom.
saying I'm not doing any of that. I don't desire to do any of that.
I
I
don't
feel it.
desire to do it either, but I know.
Well, I watched my mom. She would go buy. She bought books like before there was a YouTube. And she was one of them people that she was like, I ain't letting nothing stop me from doing shit. So she would go buy books. I forgot they had these handyman books and stuff. And we would do stuff around the house according to the book. That's how I learned a lot of stuff too from doing it
Yeah.
with her. So,
Hmm.
but as far as cooking and cleaning, if there's a need, I feel it. I will cook. I don't have no problem with that. If you have a specialty meal, you know how to cook, please do so.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's that.
And let me clarify also when I said about the split with it's two people, I'm not saying we sit down and we make a list and you do this, you do
Mm-hmm.
this. But a lot of times when both people work, if
Mm-hmm.
the other person have this mentality of, well, you're supposed to maintain the house, but we both just went and worked 8 hours. No, we both need to kick in.
Yeah, see, I never had that mentality because I just always understood, and this could be because the way I grew up, like with my mom and my sisters and stuff. So I think it's just in relationships, it's like I'm just gonna do it. We just gonna do it. Like
Yeah,
I never thought about we should split this because no, we both work, we both tired, we both don't want our house a certain way. Whoever got
exactly.
the energy, if I see it, I'm just gonna do it. If I
Exactly.
miss something, which is very rare,
And
then,
but that's what I mean in terms
yeah,
of the split,
no,
not
I feel that. I
we
feel
making a list and that you clean this and you do
yeah,
that and not that.
no, no.
Yeah. Number 8, family. Anyone who has ever watched a sitcom on TV knows that couples may struggle with relatives,
Mm.
in-laws, and extended family issues. Healthy couples deal with in-laws with respect and by understanding that different people have different ways. The key to managing in-laws is setting healthy boundaries, expressing these boundaries to your spouse, and taking preemptive steps even before things get out of hand. So, I have a little bit of experience in this. So they weren't technically my all the way in-laws because me and my children dad we didn't get married, but they still consider themselves like my in-laws and act accordingly. Like I said, all of his family was at my wedding to my husband, so we still interact very well together on that side, and because they're very welcoming. Like I said, his mother bought my husband Christmas gifts, and everybody knew him. His nieces called my husband Uncle Daryl. So it's just like I was kind of, I guess, blessed in that way because we didn't have that turmoil with that side of the family, even though I don't care if they did. But anyway, and then with my husband, I got along with pretty much all of his family. Just had some little kinks that we had to work out, and we communicated through it. It was rough, real rough, but it was communicated nonetheless. And that's about it. I don't have nothing else to say.
I'm done.
I'm done. That's it. That's all. Oh, before we do that, Evita said she loves cooking.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking about she said I love cooking. I was thinking about that fat dude for 600-pound life to be talking about buttermilk biscuits. I love them. Come on, bacon. I'm getting one of them t-shirts. I swear to God, I'm getting one of them t-shirts.
Oh, I cannot.
You say 600-pound life, y'all know what I'm talking about. I'm sorry. That dude just stay on my mind. I love them buttermilk biscuits. I love them. And mom was like, I'm sorry. Larry Myers. I'm sorry. When I hear anybody say I love something, it just pops in my head. I can't help it. I'm sorry. I went around for a minute.
Go ahead,
I
Fat
just
Guy.
don't know what he's talking about, so that's why I'm just grinning.
Oh, if you go online,
Mm-hmm.
look up this guy named Larry Myers,
Mm-hmm.
and go to Larry Myers 600-pound life.
Mm-hmm.
You know how they do the show My 600-Pound Life?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there's an episode with this guy from New York named Larry Myers. He's a
Uh-huh.
brother. He used to sing gospel, all that, but he's struggling with his weight. Well, the brother get to cooking, and he cooking the bacon, and he's singing. He like, "Come on, bacon!" And then he went and got some Popeyes, and he
Uh-huh.
just had the biscuit in his hand, and
Uh-huh.
he looked at the biscuit. He said, "Buttermilk biscuits." And he was like if he's struggling, God bless the brother. But he just started selling the t-shirts and say buttermilk. I follow him on Instagram because I got issues and I'm going to hell one day. But
Okay.
he got t-shirts that say buttermilk biscuit. I love it. Watch the episode. It's
Uh-huh.
sad what he's dealing with. God bless his journey. But it is the funniest shit you will ever see.
You said his name.
Oh my God.
You said his name is Larry Myers.
Larry Myers.
Okay. How you spell Myers?
Myers. Matter of
Okay.
fact, let me make sure. Because you need to see this. This is the funniest shit you have ever seen.
And while he's doing that, go and address this family.
Oh, I was just gonna say I've been lucky in the relationships that I've been in, the couple of relationships I've been in. It was like a second family type situation.
Mm-hmm.
Like my very first relationship, I was really close with my boyfriend's mother. I could stay the night at the house. I drove her car, ran errands for her. Yeah. Her and my mother got along. She would come to my mom's house and eat.
I gotta prepare myself.
I don't think mama ever went to her house. But she might have sent mama a plate or something. You know what I'm saying? It was just real razzle dazzle.
I gotta prepare myself for that.
And then my second relationship, his parents were deceased, but his aunts and uncles were.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I got the info for you.
His aunts and uncles were the people that I met. And like, even now today, they be like, "Oh, when y'all gonna get married?" And we ain't nowhere near together no more. But both of our families are like, we should they think that we are the match mate in heaven. We're best friends, but we're not in a relationship. But it was the same. Like, it was like from the moment we met. I remember when I met his family, we played cards. I was with it, talking stuff and everything. It was like, oh, okay, you one of those. Yeah. I'm one of
Yeah.
those.
One of them.
I'll quickly give you this information. It's Mr. _Buttermilk on Instagram.
Okay.
His name is Larry Myers, Myers. But if you go to YouTube and you type his name in and type in 600-pound life, you get to see the whole episode that brought him to this point.
Okay.
Mr. Buttermilk Biscuit. He loves me. Y'all was talking about in-laws, right?
Yeah.
Did you mean that? Am I supposed to? Well, I don't have a lot of experience with in-laws. I have one in-law, and that's the homie Mike Bizzle. And Mike has been in our life, about 20 years, I think. So that we never really had no issues. We had a couple of disagreements, maybe like 1 to 2, maybe 1. And that was just recent, like last 2 years. So Mike always been cool with us, very enthusiastic about family, always willing to go above and beyond. He do stuff that I be like, man, I ain't doing that shit, bro. But God bless you. You know what I'm saying? And what I mean is, like, he really, and I know I be cracking jokes, but I'm serious. He loved my sister. You know what I'm saying? So he's like the only real in-law that I could think of the top of my head that I've had experience with. Because, you know what I'm saying? My brother had a wife, but I don't really be fucking with her like that. So, you know what I'm saying? Rest in peace, bro. But Mike he's a very loving guy. He goes above and beyond for my sister to the point where I be like, whoo, bro. Whoo, Lord. That's some real love there, bro.
I know that's my sister, but I wouldn't even do it.
Look, and everything I'm saying, I have said, right? But he truly, truly loves my sister to the definition and beyond the love. So if you've ever had someone come into the life of one of your family members and you have a safety and security knowing that this person really cares for this person. Like, I know that Mike would never do anything to hurt my sister. I know that he truly loves my sister. So there's a security within me as a brother. So that's my in-law. I love me some Mike Bizzle. That's my nizzle. And that red chicken was fire, dog. So yeah, that's my man though. Mike, cool dude. And he a good father. He a good husband. He a good guy. He overall a good guy. And he's been around us for a long time. And he's always been inviting and loving, all of that. You know, that's just real. So yeah.
Yes, love Michael Bryant.
Mike Bizzle. That's my dude, Mike Bizzle. We call him Mike Bizzle. That's the homie though. Mike is all right. So that's the only in-law I know of, you know, that.
So have you met his family or any of his family?
Well, I met his mom.
Oh, okay.
You know, like I know his mom. Mike's the only child. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I met his mom. I met his dad actually. The day they got married, because I gave my sister away, which I was very honored to do. Like, you know, so I ain't gonna get all mushy. But my sister asked me to give her away. Like, that was a big deal for me. So I met her dad, and then I met his dad and I met his mom. So yeah. But yeah, Mike Bizzle is like that dude. When it comes to husband material, because that man loved my sister. Like, I can say this 55 times, like, for real. This man truly loves my sister. And so I'm gonna leave it at that. I don't want to get all mushy, but he's a good dude. He's a good dude.
Number 9, our habits. Our personality quirks and habits make us unique and special. For instance, your significant other may have a distinct obsession over a particular food. Or maybe you snort when you laugh a little. While some of the habits may be the very reason why you are drawn to your partners, some may annoy and bother you. Honesty without judgment is the best stance to take. Note that bringing up the habit in the heat of an argument may feel threatening to the other party. Lastly, choose your battles. Before asking your partner to quit or stop a habit, reflect whether this habit in question has an impact on your relationship. If not, perhaps it's something that you can let go. And Angela said, "Oh, I'm teary-eyed and honored to have my bro give me away." Oh,
Yeah, it was cool. It was cool ceremony.
y'all get the heart for that.
Yeah, you get the heart. How y'all be doing it? How
That's
you
that.
That's a gang
family
sign
love.
heart. That's a gang sign.
How you
Yeah,
doing?
you gotta do it like
You do your
like,
whole hand.
Oh, okay, my fault. I'm from Chicago. I'm sorry.
yeah.
He up here like,
Oh yeah,
You know what? I seen that on TV where the dude was putting them together. So
we stop throwing them up. Stop
yeah.
throwing them
How
up.
you do it? How you show me again?
Your whole hand, your thumbs touch and your fingers touch.
Like that?
You bend it like a heart.
We're gonna have to let you practice later.
Yeah, don't throw your gang heart up because you.
no,
I really wasn't trying to do no gang stuff.
I know.
We know.
And I was like, that's a really cool way to do the heart. But now you just said that, damn, that did flash me back to some gangbangery episodes.
Absolutely. Your hands went right, your fingers went right into place, didn't they?
I'm retired. I am so retired. I gotta work this.
Well, my particular food is ice.
Oh God.
I am an ice connoisseur. Do not touch my ice.
Oh girl.
Do not ask me to share my ice.
Please don't.
If you would like some, I will get you some, but I don't share.
She will get you your own cup. Will you leave the heart alone, please?
Is it because my head big?
No, it's because you threw up the gang heart first. You can't get that out your head. All you doing is touching the tip of your thumbs and then bringing it.
But you got to make them point a little bit more.
You got to make them the pointy part of the heart.
I like the delta. We ain't doing the deltas.
No, Lord Jesus. Okay, that is over.
Yeah.
We're going to have to do that on the letter.
We'll wait that out another time.
Yeah.
You were talking about your ice.
Certain particular habits. The only one that really would like bother me is smoking.
Probably not gonna be in a relationship with you.
Well, I've been in a relationship with people who smoke.
I can't do it. I did it one time. I won't do it again.
And it's smoking. It's particular smoking that's different from other smoking. If you get my drift.
Well, you know that natural smoking, I'm all right with.
Oh, you'll be in a relationship and then
that's from the earth.
It still has certain odors.
No, I'm kidding. Go ahead.
I get it.
I mean, that's about the only thing that bothers me. But I have been with a person who smoked, but you could not tell because of the extra manner and care they took to not smell like smoke. It was really weird. But yes,
it wasn't.
They were very dedicated.
Squares?
Huh?
They were squares, or was it?
Yeah.
Oh, he put in some wizard.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
But that's about it.
I can't do cigarette smoke. I tried to be with somebody that smoked cigarettes, and he only smoked in his vehicle. And it started outside of the house, but then he brought it into his room, and I'm like, nah, I don't want to smell that. Yeah. Anyway, my habit would be chocolate. I don't know if that would bother somebody.
Yes, it would. And you know why?
Why?
We ain't gonna talk about it here. You know why?
Why would it bother somebody that I like chocolate? You know why? Well, at any rate,
huh?
I know. I'm trying to figure out what she said. It would bother somebody.
Why ain't we living on the ship right now?
Yeah. Why would it bother somebody?
What's your condition?
What is my condition?
What is your condition?
About chocolate?
No.
You talking
about
You know why?
That I'm diabetic.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Well, then that might be a ride if you fucking around like that.
Yeah. Let's skip over that.
Oh, never want to skip over it. But no, we were just living on the wanted something, come on out
You've been
with it.
digressing the whole episode. You're gonna have to come clean with something.
Yeah, that could be a problem. It has been a problem.
Uh-huh.
But I don't fight it. I don't fight it.
We don't need the health to go awry.
My other thing, it's not, I don't think it's a habit. I think it's more of a passion, and that's me traveling. So that's like that's a non-negotiable for me. So that literally can make or break a relationship because I'm not gonna stop traveling. I'm not. Now I might reduce the frequency of my travels, but like if somebody's like, "Oh, I don't want you to travel no more," then we not gonna work out, bro.
That's tough. If somebody go that deep to say they got a problem with somebody traveling, there needs to be some self-assessment and some reassessment going on.
Well, I'm just saying that's the only thing I can think of that would be close to like a habit. Like I might buy a ticket and be like, "Hey, going to Atlanta this weekend. Found a cheap ticket under $200 round trip." And they might be like, "Well, damn, we could have done something else with that $200." You know what I'm saying? But again, that would come through. That would be known through conversations and transparency.
I got you. Okay. Well, for me,
I can't think of nothing else.
Oh, it was my fault.
Yeah, it's your turn.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I smoked for 23 years. I smoked cigarettes and I smoked the essence. And I gave both of them up because the cigarettes, damn, they killed me. So in September this year, it'll be 5 years I haven't smoked a cigarette. And I haven't smoked any marijuanas in over a year. So I don't do nothing, and I don't drink. So I don't do none of that. So when I was smoking though, because I left the wine. I remember I was playing with the wine for a minute.
Yeah.
I left it. I had to leave that alone too. I still got a bottle of wine in my refrigerator. It's been about 6 months. So the last time I had that glass on the show, that was the last time I had to drink a wine.
You want us to lift that up off of you?
Yeah, that's what I was.
It's Stella Rose Red or whatever.
Yeah, we'll get that up off of you.
I mean, I'm like,
we'll come check on you and check that out.
Well, I mean, if somebody don't come by, if I don't have no company or something, somebody want to drink.
Who cares if you got company? Tell them you just gonna pass the bottle out the door. We don't want you. We want the bottle.
Now, like,
you talking about them drinking the wine, girl? Dang.
Oh, she don't want it.
Wow. Well, when I was younger and I smoked, right? I used to date women who smoked, right? And I dated girls smoked big old blunts. It didn't bother me, and cigarette. But now, if I see a woman put a blunt to her mouth and I'm interested in her, I am no longer interested in her.
Oh,
cigarettes. I cannot stand the smell of cigarettes. And here's one. I don't know if nobody watching who know me from back home. You might have a heart attack when you hear this. I cannot stand the smell of marijuana.
That happens when you stop.
Anybody who know me, no.
But that happens a lot of times when you stop.
I guess so, but
Because you used to burn it down, huh?
I used to burn it down. I'm talking about I used to smoke so much. God told me to slow down. You hear what I'm telling you? I used to smoke. I can't stand it. I'll be in the car, and somebody be smoking in the car in front of me. I'll be ready to jump out and fight. So I don't like nobody who smokes. But I say one of my habits is pineapple outshine fruit bars. That's my habit. I love them. Pineapple fruit bars. I love them. You know what I'm saying? So I like those. And look, I don't get it all the time. I just had some on Easter. My mama's macaroni and cheese. Lord have mercy on my poor black hellbound soul. So that whenever she cook it, I want it. But I just had some on Easter. It was great. But I don't really have too many quirks outside of I don't like people be talking during movies and stuff. Or like, you know, you be watching a movie with somebody and you know you be into the movie and they be like, no, he didn't. Oh my God. And I be like, shut the fuck up. Can't hear what he said next. Like, that's why I had captions on so I can read. Just in case you done said something. I don't want to rewind the movie and stuff. So I don't like people be talking during the movie and stuff. Just be quiet. We can discuss later. We can have a Roger and Ebert moment. You know what I'm saying? So that's an issue for me.
As long as it ain't scary, honey.
Well, that's all I mess with. Scary.
Well,
She
I'm
gonna
gonna
be
talk.
jumping,
I'm gonna
hollering.
talk.
Right.
I
We
be like,
want a comedy. If we
I
watch a
can't help it.
comedy,
I can't help it. I be like, oh, they better come through the door. Ah!
Lord God.
That's the problem. Or like we
Listen.
watch a comedy. I know it might be funny, so I get that part. But a laugh only supposed to last about a minute. You understand what I'm saying?
I don't be laughing. I be scared.
Minutes later,
I
we
be
got a problem.
scared.
That shit wasn't that damn funny. It was funny, but it wasn't that
I be scared.
damn. What else? Let me think some
Mm-mm. Hold on before you go there.
Huh?
It might not even be nothing about to happen. She done built herself up so hard that when the nothing happens, she still jumps.
Who
does that?
watch the movie with me?
Who
I'll be
does
pissed
that?
off. We
were in the movie theater one time watching what I felt like it was a scary movie. And I screamed so loud, everybody in the movie theater laughed because I thought something was about to happen. And Keely was like, that's what I'm talking about. It's so funny.
I will turn the movie on at my house and watch her. I won't even watch the movie. I'll watch her because this is comical. This is hilariousness to see the that she doing over nothing. Oh, it's the best.
I'll list these last ones for the sake of time. And people gonna think it's a problem. I have an issue with people just willy-nilly going in my refrigerator.
Doing what?
Just willy-nilly going in my refrigerator. And
Your
it's crazy
refrigerator?
because I live alone. Like, just don't
Who
go
does
in my
that
shit.
though? They don't ask? They don't ask?
No, like I'm just saying, like it's happened to me in my past.
Oh.
But, I don't have a whole lot of company. But if you walk in my house and you just go in my refrigerator, I might fuck you up. And then, of course, the conversation about eating off my plate, I already told you I stab you in the hand with a fork. So that's an issue. And then this is one of the most major quirks I have. Do not do number 2 in my bathroom. No, you need to go home for that. You can't do number 2 in my bathroom.
What if you can't hold it?
Then you need to say a prayer and exercise your faith in the Lord and the tightness of your sphincter. Your sphincter. Because see, I'm gonna tell you something. Women do something I call quick shits. Women do quick shits. Let me tell y'all something about women. And look, I'm gonna break this shit down real quick. I've been around a long time. You do what I'm saying? What women to do? Cause see, women. I used to tell my children this. And I tell my brothers this. If you got a woman at your house and she say she got to go pee, it only takes 3 minutes for a woman to pee. It's gonna take her 60 seconds to pee, another minute to, if she a real sister, she gonna wipe herself, work it out. So you always gotta have a good toilet tissue because sometimes we have chemical reactions. So you always make sure you got the good toilet tissue. You're gonna have a woman over, right? That's a point for the brothers. And then it's gonna take another minute for her to check herself out, wash her hands, and all that stuff. 3 minutes. After 3 minutes, she is taking a quick shit. Do you hear what I'm saying to you? It is
what happens with the quick one?
The quick shit is like, so she got to go to the bathroom, right? You know how sometimes you can let a little bit out and save the rest for later? So, because you might be crowning. You dig what I'm saying? You might be crowning. So you go in the bathroom, and while you peeing, because if you know what type of man you dealing with, that brother timing you. Especially somebody like me. You on the clock when you say you got to go pee. And I'm sitting right there looking at the door like this. So look, and I done already measured the toiletries. I've done all that. So look, so she go pee. Now while she peeing, because by women sitting on the toilet, y'all's piss is a little louder because it's covered up. I'm being real with you now. So that
what are you at the door?
Huh?
You at the door?
No, this is just a lifetime of experience, man.
You sitting at the door, listen to the woman pee. That's a dang shame.
No, y'all. See, I don't be listening to nobody pee, but y'all be pissing real loud. You sitting. No, let me tell you something. Let's be real now.
That is unacceptable.
You're sitting on the toilet. Y'all some hard pissers. That's why I have fans in my bathroom. You can flip the fan on so I ain't got the head. So you go in there, you got the hard pee going, right? And then you drop you 2 real quick. Real quick. That's the quick shit. And then you flush. So it ain't got time to stank, none of that. Then y'all white and come on out of there like all y'all did was pee. It's called the quick shit. I've been around women all my life.
So are you okay with that, or you got a problem with that?
I told y'all about the girl that dropped the log in my house many moons ago. I done been through a lot of situations with the ladies.
Are you okay with the QS?
Huh?
Are you okay with the QS?
I am not with the quick shit.
So they can't even do a QS.
No, there'll be no quick shitting in my abode. You listen.
Man, ain't no sense in, I mean, if you didn't cook the dinner, she might have to do a QS.
That's why I make sure when I cook meals that do not propagate any shittery.
Like what? Name one.
There will be no green sides, no shit like
no meat.
You can have some meat, but
meat can make you have a QS.
I have mastered the art of cooking so that you don't. And I normally feed you when it's close for you to go home anyway. You understand what I'm saying? So by the time you digest, you already.
This is number 9 because
so let me. I was just going to say because y'all have gone all the way. All right,
FloydGod
we talking about quirks.
Take no QS.
We talking about quirks. You see how y'all upset? Because y'all be quick shit.
No.
That's why y'all got an issue
first
with
of all,
be quick shit.
No. Because first of all, I don't like pooping in nobody's house. Other than
mine. I'm not going to put my booty cheeks on foreign toilet seats. So I don't expect you to do it either.
Yeah,
I don't like pooping in nobody's house but mine. So that's not going to happen. That ain't no issue. I have become very, very well at to breathe, to take it back in and get where I need to go. She's strong back there. She can make it. I can make it all the way to the house.
Bring it back on up.
I can make it back to the house. I'm good.
Bring it upstairs.
In closing.
Huh?
In closing.
Okay, so this is bonus number 10. We are not going to go deep into this.
No, but and going into the refrigerator, I said 2 of them. And going into the refrigerator willy-nilly. I have issues with that, and then talking during the move. Those are some of my quirks.
Okay, so this is the 10 bonus question.
All right.
And we're not gonna go deep into this because this is gonna cause some commotion.
We going deep.
No, we ain't finna go deep.
We are.
Let's say that you all have had discussions. Y'all are at the point and you both know that you are the one for each other. But he has not taken the step to propose. Does it matter if the woman proposes?
Hell yes, it matters.
Yeah, I ain't proposing.
If a woman proposed to me, she gonna get left.
You gonna leave her?
I'll walk away.
And are you breaking up with her, leaving her, or just walking away from her in that situation?
You know what? That's something we're gonna have to discuss because I think, and it could be my traditionalism, my old school ways. I just think when a woman has to propose to a man, it is something. It's taken away from this woman. It's almost damn near disrespectful and demeaning. I can't really explain it, but
I get it.
That ain't right. If a woman proposed to me, I'll walk away. I can't. No.
I get it. I understand. I completely agree because I'm not gonna be the one to propose. I'm sorry.
I'm not doing it. We won't ever get married. I'm not doing it.
I'm out.
I just wanted to ask that as a bonus question. Anyway. All right. So communication, keep an open mind. There are no cut and dry ways to tackle these above mentioned topics. Similarly, couples may view these topics with varying levels of ease. Some couples may not even consider these topics of discussion to even be taboo at all. The most important thing is for both parties to listen with the intent to understand and for each to speak the truth clearly and honestly. This is when genuine and open communication occurs and ultimately lead to a better relationship. My end quote for this one is, there are 2 things that people should never chase. There's true friends and true love. People will make time for who and what they want to make time for. And if it ain't you, get your ass up out of there.
Yep.
All right. Do you have one for us this evening?
I don't.
Oh, well.
I think ending with your quote is perfect.
Yes. So she still needs your suggestions for I Love You Butts Her email is FACKTgoddess@gmail.com, and that is FACKT goddess@gmail.com, which will also be in the description below. I will also have the description for the Lupus Walk that's happening on Saturday, so that if you would like to donate or join our team, it's Saturday. Registration starts at 9 a.m. The walk is at 11, and they're doing a podium presentation at 12. So that's all that I got. Are all hearts and minds clear?
Clear.
All right. Well, that concludes our show for this evening. Thank you all for joining us as we do our best to give you the content you deserve. Feel free to keep the conversation going below in the comments. We can't see that. I can't see that. We do look forward to reading them, and we respond. Again, thanks for watching. If you have not, thumbs up this video, tell a friend, share, subscribe, click and bang that notification bell so that you are notified when we have other episodes. Erica Smith said, excellent show. Thank you so
Erica.
much. We will see you next week at 9 p.m. on Monday on GoddeSShips, because every ship matters.
All ships are the same.
And life is lived on ships.
Good night. Thank you all for watching.